Alright, hey guys, 8Byte Brian here, and I am back with my flea market and thrift store haul and pickups for the month of February. I know, right? We're in April, and I'm just getting around to February. That can be just a small indicator of how unbelievably busy I've been. Not just going to toy shows and conventions and things like this, but just working. So again, guys, got to apologize. That's why a lot of these videos are coming out late. I'm just so unbelievably busy, and it takes a long time to really get one of these monthly haul videos together. But I do promise March will be out a lot sooner, so look for that coming out hopefully in the next 2 weeks. But once again, I've got pickups from Zolocon, flea markets, everything. February was a huge month. So without any more ado, let's get it right into it, and I'll show you everything that I picked up from Zolocon, flea markets, whatever, the whole 9 yards. And let's go through it. Let's see some cool stuff. So right off the bat, let me just do some oddball finds, I guess, that I found. This, definitely the strangest thing that I found all month. This giant plush California raisin. I got him in a Goodwill. I think he was like a nickel or a quarter or something. So, yeah, he was so cheap. This one Goodwill that I go to, they have everything in like dump bins and everything. So you pay by the pound. So he essentially costed nothing. And I was like, whatever. Like, plush things aren't really my thing, but it was cool enough to pick up. So, pretty neat. And then this, I believe this is a late 70s or early 80s, but this is actually an original Tootsie Roll bank. Now, why do I say it's an original? Because you can still buy a lot of these around Christmas time and stuff. They're much smaller, and like, you know, maybe your grandmother or something, you know, gives you one for Easter or Christmas. But this is an actual original vintage bank. So that's cool. Don't really know if it's worth anything or not, but I just think it's neat. It reminds me of, like, you know, when I grew up and stuff like that. Some other random stuff that I found as well. I guess we'll just hop right into board games. That kind of flows into this territory. I did find a lot of VHSs, but unfortunately I misplaced them right now, so I can't show them. But just to let you guys know what I found, maybe I'll have some pictures I can post at the end of the video. I picked up stuff like Follow That Bird, a really cool Robotech VHS that I found. It's all for like 50 cents or $1 a piece. Very cool. But board games, I picked up this really neat, whoops, upside down apparently, laser attack board game, which I just saw like the artwork and everything, and it just looked really crazy and cool. Let you guys get a good look at that. And there's this like light activated tower in the center, so that way you guys can kind of see it a little bit better. And there are these towers where this thing like kind of spins around, and then there's like these crystals and everything, which look really cool. And like the light hits them and they light up, and like it knocks down your tower like peg by peg. So it kind of reminds me of like the game like the Omega Virus, and just the way that everything's shaped, and it looks really futuristic and robotic. So that's really neat. And this, I think I paid $10 for it, maybe $8. A little expensive, honestly, for a board game, but I thought it was kind of neat, and hopefully I'm going to try to flip it and maybe get my money back on it. This I paid only, I think, $2 or $3 for. This was an incredible find. This is the, I believe, 2nd edition, but this is a 1965, I believe, 65 or 68. Let's see if I can see here. Yeah, 65. This is a 1965 edition of Operation. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, what the heck's so special about that? Operation games are everywhere. Well, what's special about this, aside from the age, is that this version here, it has the doctor smoking a cigarette while he's operating on the patient. And as you guys would know today, that would be very not politically correct. So in all the later versions, they removed that. And the only thing this is missing is the little pencil. I just have to find a pencil for it. But other than that, it works, and everything's in there. So really cool. One of my favorite games to play when I was a kid growing up. And let's see, we'll move right into video games. Again, unfortunately, I did misplace some things. I found a pretty rare Atari cart that I can't remember the name of, but I don't know where I put that at the moment. I want to say it was Dark Chambers. I think that's the game that I found, that I paid $5 for that, so there's that. But anyway, for like $1.50 or $2, I picked up this really cool little, like knockoff emulator that has like a whole bunch of official Famicom and NES, or well, unlicensed, I guess, but they're the real games on there, and you know, it's really cool. Like you got Contra and stuff on here, and they're the real games, and they play really good. So this is really cool. It was a fun little pickup for only $1, or like $2 at the most. This is another awesome pickup, a boxed Radio Shack Turbo Raceway game from the early '90s. I love it because it still has the box. I think I paid $2 for this, or $3, very cheap. Still has the instructions and everything, and there's the game. Really neat. I grew up on Radio Shack. My parents, a lot of the toys they got for me came from Radio Shack, so that's why I love finding Radio Shack stuff. It's just awesome. Kind of would have had to grow up in the area to really understand, I guess. Also, I picked up for only $10, which is a steal. That's like at least like half off, maybe a little bit more. I already had it for the Genesis, but now I got it for the Super Nintendo as well, and that's Saturday Night Slam Masters, which if you never played this game, definitely download it or pick up a copy. Super, super fun. Awesome game. I remember me and my friends at a local video store near where I grew up called North Broad Video. They actually had the arcade cabinet of Saturday Night Slam Masters, and ironically enough, plenty of times on Saturday nights, which I know that sounds really corny, or like Friday nights, like everyone from like the neighborhood, like my friends and stuff, would go there, and we would take turns, like have tournaments playing in there, and just so cool. Like stuff like that just does not happen anymore, and really awesome. So I got a lot of good memories with that game, and plus it's just an awesome game. And then I think for like $1 or so, I think I also got this at the Goodwill. I got Wii Sports Resort. That's a little harder to find. I mean, not too hard to find, but I believe this goes for around like $15, so that was a good little pickup. And this was almost one of my finds of the month. Thank you to my good friend Nazar. I think I paid $5 for this, which in my opinion is a steal. Or wait, it might have been like $1. I don't remember. I think he might have sold to me for like $1. I don't know. Really cheap. Really, really cool. You guys know I love a lot of Atari stuff and things like that. Clean this up, but an old Pac-Man pencil box, crayon box, and there was crayons in here. You can still see where they were all colored, and you can still smell those wonderful crayons. And it does have a little tear missing, but that's just such a cool little piece of early 80s Atari Pac-Man merchandise. Like something you would have found at like back to school at Woolworths or Kmart, you know, and you're getting ready to go back to school. So what an awesome, awesome find to pick that up. And also a miscellaneous, because it's not really a toy. It is, but it isn't. I think for like $1 maybe I picked these up. The other 3 are duplicates for Max Steel, but a bunch of RoboForce manuals. And you guys know that I've done a review on that on my channel before. But you got here for Max Steel, and then out for Blazer. So that would have been the insert for Blazer, the little mini comics and stuff like that. So you can see like the little story and the artwork. Just so cool. Very campy. Very neat. And alrighty, now let's move into toys, regular finds. First things first, one of the weirdest things that I found at a Goodwill near me. Unfortunately, the packaging is a little damaged because I had to take the labels off because I wanted them to look nice, and now they kind of look worse, but they already didn't really look that good to begin with. Are these crazy Star Wars Episode 1 action figures that are still sealed, but they're total Chinese knockoffs that completely ripped off the Star Wars logo. So here we got Boss Nass. And you can tell the way that they're colored and everything. They just have that really crazy knockoff look to them. And it has in the back all the characters that you can get. And even, they went so far as to rip it off that, if you remember the Episode 1 figures, they had that little Comtech thing that you could put the little ID tag on and the figures would all talk and stuff. They even advertised that when, of course, there's nothing there. It doesn't come with it. So they just completely ripped off the art. And every single one, I believe, yeah, is like Padme. You got like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but on the front, every single one is like Padme. So like they just ripped off one stock image front and back, although one is slightly different on the back. But yeah, then there's Padme there, and you can see the back. There's a lot of figures there, and then on this one, only has a few figures on this one. So I don't get that, but you know, these probably aren't worth anything, but they're just really bizarre, and I want to do a more of an up close review on those coming up, just because I think they're crazy. Like wow, they're just really wild. So anything knockoff, I always love. Then this, I think I paid $4 or $5 for. I believe this is Ertl. I'm not sure. I don't really see a maker's stamp. I believe this is Ertl of the original Star Trek series USS Enterprise. This thing is very, very heavy. Really nice. And it detaches just like how it did, you know, in the movies. When they needed to detach from the bridge, if they were, you know, it took too much damage or something like that. So really cool. And you can hear it very, very heavy. The whole thing is completely metal. Metal! No, but I mean, yeah, but pretty neat, I thought. And I think that will do it for random finds, I suppose. Aside from this other little thing I found, thanks to, shout out to my friend Scottish Mike. Well, let me know what this was. I had no clue what this was. This is called, from a series of toys called Golden Girls, which I thought he was joking, like the show Golden Girls, like with Blanche and stuff, but never heard of the toy line before. And it's this little metal, like Spawn kind of looking shield. Looks like an eye or like guts or something, but really, really cool. And yeah, I picked that up for $1 just because it was really odd. Okay, and let's see, other stuff that I got. Oh yeah, I got, let's see, I got some Mighty Max figures. And I believe this guy is Swordmaster. And then just some other random little guy with like a gas mask and backpack on, some little lurker dude. And then this month too, I also found a huge lot of Dino Riders stuff. We got the little, I don't know what his name is, but like the little raptor. You push the button and his legs move. Very cool. Now this is Dino Riders, but this is Smithsonian, which was a later series that came out later where Tyco produced them with the same molds for the Smithsonian, like as a learning toy. And how you can tell that they're not the original run Dino Riders is there's no slots on the side like on this Staphylococcus or something. I can't remember his name. Really hard to pronounce. But other than that, totally identical. Everything moves and everything. So it's still pretty neat. And these are actually more rare, believe it or not. I believe that the Raptor is original Dino Riders, thanks to my friend Dino Rider Dan, helping me on that. And then this guy, you'd think he's like a pterodactyl or something, but he's actually called like a Quetzalcoatlus or whatever. And his wings flap and everything, and he's original Dino Rider. And they were like $1 each or like $2 each. So that was a steal. And then I also found a bunch of really cool Godzilla stuff too this month. There we go. Little Godzilla figure there. And these guys are all Toho from the early to late 90s. And then I can never pronounce this guy's right. It's always Gigan or Gigan or Gaidan. I can never quite get his name right. Got a smaller one of him. Really cool. And then even cooler, I got this huge light up one, which I don't know if he has batteries in him now, but he does work. Let's see, I think I took the batteries out. But he makes noise, and his I think his eye lights up, or maybe it doesn't, but he definitely makes noise. He's motion activated. So that's really cool. Look at the size of him. Very nice. And he was only a couple of bucks. And then these guys, this guy I paid 10 bucks for, but I felt was worth it just because I'm a big Gremlins fan. This is a bendy Spike. And I see online he goes for around 20 to 30, so that's still a pretty good deal. Pretty nice pickup. This guy I think I picked up for $1 or so. This is a very old, mid-70s, I think it's Marks. Let me see if I can read it on the bottom here. It's an old maker of like these. Oh no, sorry, it's made by Imperial. It's like a rubber King Kong. They made a lot of horror stuff too. I found a bat that went with this, but I don't know where that is at the moment. Only paid like $1 for that. Transformer stuff. I picked up these two Stampers. I already had the Starscream one before, but now I got another one, and I got Jazz. So I believe I'm only missing Megatron. Yeah, Megatron to complete the set. They were 10 for the two of them, so that wasn't too bad, I don't think. Or they might have been less than 10, I don't remember. They might have been like 8 for the two of them. Anyway, and then this is also a Diaclone. I thought this was the original, but close enough. This is the last of the Power Dashers that I needed. They were the mailaways that you got to insert after the 1986 movie, asking, you know, kids and stuff to enlist and help the Autobots win. Autobots to win the war against the Decepticons. And he transforms into a little race car that looks really bizarre, honestly, with the spoiler, but still pretty neat. Let me see, there we go. And yeah, that's what his transformation would look like. And he's one of the hardest to find. And also Transformers, another little Micromaster. And this guy transforms into a little plane. So he's a whole series of other ones that would transform into planes. And I believe that they connect to like a space shuttle or something. And they make like a really big plane or whatever. She had a lot of them that were combiners. So that's his plane mode there. And let's see, I think that's everything Transformers. So moving into that, also found another little mini Shogun Warrior. And I think he was like $2 or $3, pretty cheap. This was cool. Got this for, I think, like $2 or so. This is Gobot's Power Armor. So what you would do is you would put a Gobot inside of there, and you open it up like this. Let me see if this will actually open. Sometimes it gets stuck. Oh, there we go. It opens from the back. Yep. And then it makes your once weakling Gobot much more powerful, because now he's like bigger and more badass, like in a bigger suit, but not really. It doesn't really make him more badass. But anyway, I still love GoBots. I'm not going to hate on them. These guys I found too, which were neat. They were also at the Goodwill. If you guys remember my Gumby video I did, these are the Blockheads. I think these are from like 2004 or whatever, but I really don't care because the ones from the 90s are kind of expensive and the ones from before that are even way more expensive. So for like 50 cents, they're cool. They just look really nice, and I love the Blockheads. They were funny from the Gumby cartoon. Then I also got another Sectar. He was like $1. I believe he's a duplicate, but my other one, the antennas were broken, so that's why I picked him up. And then, even still, more Dino Riders. This time, some more figures. And I think I paid maybe 15, I think it was like 15 or 20 for the whole lot, which I know sounds kind of expensive. When you look at what these guys go for individually, it's actually pretty reasonable. So it only worked out to like maybe $4 or $5 each, which really, that isn't too bad, I don't think. I mean, that's usually my limit on most figures. I usually won't pay over $5 unless it's like really, really rare. And I also found some He-Man stuff. And let's see, I believe this is Rock-On, one of the 2 Meteorite He-Man figures. He transforms into a rock, obviously, as the name would imply. Not really a good transformation in all honesty, but there you go. And he was $8, but he's a little more uncommon to find. And he was one of the variants of figures that were made in Mexico. I'm not sure what the story behind that, but I know there was a whole run of He-Man stuff that was made in Mexico. This guy, I'm trying to think. I think I paid 10. I believe I paid 10 for him. This is a very rare and hard to find He-Man figure, and this is Squeeze. And he's like a big snake guy that has these really cool bendable arms, and he crushes the life out of people, or he can stretch out and grab you. So, really cool. And then also, thanks to my friend Scottish Mike, picked up a lot of Battle Beasts in trade and also at Zolocon. Little snake guy. Armadillo guy. I absolutely love Battle Beasts. Moose. Oop. Panda. Iguana. I mean, I picked up a lot of Battle Beasts. Shark. Platypus. Ram, a buffalo, a little fox. Hope you guys can see these. Sorry if you can't. I don't know what this guy's supposed to be. Can't really tell, but like a little mouse kind of looking guy. Not sure what he is. Like a beaver or something. Little panther. Told you I picked up a lot of these. Kangaroo. And a duck. And then this I got from Zolocon. I paid, I think $6 for this. This awesome little Voltron Lego figure. Very well detailed, very cool. This I picked up. I paid about $5 for this, and this is actually working. My other one didn't work. Little wind-up Ms. Pac-Man. Her mouth moves up and down, and she walks. This I got for free at one of the stores that I visit a lot. He hooked me up with this. It's a little Java with Salacious Crumb eraser, but Salacious's head is missing, but still really neat. For $1, I picked up don't know this guy's name, but one of the 6-inch Robotech figures. Pretty cool. It's a line I've been expanding on a lot. And then this was something else also I got from Scottish Mike at Zolocon, a Voltron, one of the coffins. And this was broken, so I fixed this up. And it has wings that come out on the side. And there'd be a light where the front would light up, but doesn't have batteries in it, but that actually works now. And I think I might have paid $5 or $10. Oh, I almost forgot about these. These were from Zolocon as well. I paid like $4 each for these. They're He-Man Masters of the Universe pencils, which I've never seen before. You got Man-at-Arms, and the cool Masters of the Universe logo. And the same thing with Merman. And then also again, from my friend Scottish Mike, 2 Centurions. Actually, no, one of these was from him, one was from someone else. Centurion's pencil topper. You got Ace Storm, I think is his name. Ace, can't remember his last name. And then Hacker. See, I always like collecting the weird stuff like that. I think it's really cool. And then for $1, got another little Snork. Very neat. For another $1 or $2, I picked up a Corgi 007 Aston Martin. Missing the ejector seat on the side, but still really nice because I love my Corgis, so I'm always going to pick them up when I see them. For $1, I picked this up. Very, very hard to find. It's called an action figure series called Bone Brigade, and it's these skeletons and like people like that were just doing normal stuff, but like, you know, now they're skeletons. Like this guy was an astronaut, but now he's a skeleton astronaut. So they're really neat. And this was really cool. I think I also got this for $1 as well. Yeah, I did. I got this for $1. It doesn't have the right key on it, but still, this is really cool. It's a Magnum PI Kidco burning key cars. So that's really cool. It says it on the back there. You can't really see it, but that's really neat. Maybe one day I'll find the correct key that goes to it. And then this I got at Zolocon, I believe. This is a Tron Sark figure. Love Tron, so that was cool. Picked him up for, I think, like $5. Definitely under 10. And then for $1, I picked this up. I think this is in a little bit better shape. I don't remember why I picked this up, actually. The feet are in better shape, but I guess I was just planning on trying to resell it. The Cowardly Lion action figure from The Wizard of Oz. And some other small pickups here. I don't remember this guy's name, but this is another action figure from Swamp Thing. I can't remember her name either, but she's Exo Squad. I think I paid only $1 or $2 for her. And then another Beetlejuice. I think these were like McDonald's premiums or something. And it's like 2-sided. Pretty neat. And then also from Zolocon, some of my best stuff. I picked up a lot of Toxic Crusader stuff. These were not cheap. I paid around $30 to $40 for everything, but I think it was worth it. And you got No Zone here. He's complete with his gun and his backpack. Very, very cool. This guy, I cannot remember his name. Escapes me at the moment. I want to say like Too Bad or Double Trouble or something. No, Too Bad's He-Man. I don't know why I'm thinking that. But anyway, he's got his scooter and his gun and everything. Very nice. That's why I paid a little bit extra for these, because they were complete. And then again, from my friend Scottish Mike, I think like $8 or $10. Got a Toxie here. He is missing an eye, but Toxie's a hard one to find, and of course you definitely want to have him in your main series. Alright, and now guys, that brings me to the finds of the month. So I'll start with the lesser finds. This I still think is really, really cool. I think I only paid maybe $5 for this. Definitely no more than 10. But how cool is this? A Nerf tabletop hockey stuff. You got hockey, Nerf tabletop hockey set. And if you guys remember, like in the 80s and 90s, like the Nerf swords and all those fun like sports play sets and everything, really, really cool. This is complete in the box. It has everything. And I just love the artwork and everything on there. So I think that's really cool, just because you don't see these very often. It's pretty neat. And one of my other finds of the month. This I think is really neat, and it's almost my best find of the month. Because it reminded me of a toy that I forgot I had growing up, and that's the Mad Scientist Dissect an Alien. And I only paid $10 for this. It's missing some of the organs and the front piece, but still really, really cool. And what you would do with this is you'd open it up and you try to take all the guts out and put it all back together and have like slime and goop in it and everything. So really, really awesome. But what's really neat is it had this little blue piece. And I was looking at it and I said, why does that look familiar? Why do I think that I recognize it? And so I searched it on eBay, and there was another little Mad Scientist line that you would make your own like monsters and robots with this, and it would have like this little package of, it was like blue ice or something it was supposed to be, and you'd squash it and make a monster, and I totally forgot that I had that growing up. So like, that makes this one of my finds of the month for remembering something I had completely forgotten that I had as a kid growing up. So just for that alone, that makes that. Now my runner-up find of the month, it's hard to believe this is a runner-up, but for only $10 I got this complete, very, very nice, well, it's only missing one gun on the top, but other than that, totally complete AT-ST, the Chicken Walker. So it's got the hatch and everything on the top. The hatch opens up, and it still works. The legs move and everything, and just amazing. I mean, these go easily for $30 to $45 and up, so that's a phenomenal find for $10. I found it at this store that I go to, and it was just kind of all in pieces in a bag, so I think the guy thought it was broken, and that's why he sold it to me for $10. But I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this thing is not broken. I'm sure that I can put this back together, which I did. And my absolute biggest find of the month is, ironically, my smallest find of the month. And that would be, let me get a nice up-close shot of this for you guys. This is a GoBot Cykill, 100% complete, but this is the extremely rare green variant from the Machine Robo line, which is what they were originally called before they were called GoBots in the United States. I'll try to give you guys as good of a close-up on that as possible. He is 100% complete, has the wheels, has the engine, and the hard thing about this was I didn't realize when I first got him, because I think I only paid like $5 for this guy, I only got one of the wheels, and it was at Columbus. And I was thinking, oh man, those were the other pieces for it. I thought that my other Cykill, that he already had a wheel, and I just got the one, and I was like happy with that. I didn't really know what the deal was with this green Cykill. And I went back, and the guy had the other parts, and I let him know. I was like, oh, like I wanted to buy him off him, but I was like, oh man, I was like, you still have him, and like he kind of didn't want to sell him. And then like he ended up, he was like, oh, he's like, well, if it was supposed to go with it, he was like, here, he's like, you can just have him. And that completed this cycle, which this little guy online easily goes for like $75 and up. Just an insanely rare figure, and the fact that he has all of his accessories and stuff. He's got, you know, that's the way that cycle is supposed to look, transformed with both of his wheels on the side, and just with the green coloring, the green and the black. You know, that's obviously not his current color scheme. His most well-known one is the red, white, and blue. So extremely rare to come across this, especially out in the wild, no less. So that is, without a doubt, my best find of the month. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for all of my flea market and thrift store pickups for the month of February. Yes, again, I know, I can't believe I'm saying February. So I'm going to try to have my March video out in a couple of weeks. That way I won't keep falling behind with these pickups, because I know you guys really look forward to seeing them, and they're a lot of work to do, but I love doing them too, because it's fun talking about everything that I found, and you guys checking them out and seeing them with me. So again, like I always say, make sure to hit me up on the King of Retro Facebook page. Please hit me up on Twitter. Please share your stories in the comments about what you guys are finding. Send me pictures. I love to see it. And until next month, guys, happy flea market hunting.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8BiteBrian. See you next time.